Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the NFT Morning Show. Very special episode today. We're joined by the one and only Ray Chan, the 9gag CEO. What an exciting day. We run this show Monday through Friday. If you're just listening for the first time, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 10:15 a.m. Eastern Time, each and every week, where we discuss all things NFTs, crypto, entertainment, gaming, technology, and everything in between. I'm your host, P.O., here with my co-host, Nifty Nick, the funniest man in the business. Yesterday, we got 9-hour Nick. That's Nick with 9 hours of sleep. We don't know how much sleep he got today, but we're excited to find out. We got Easy Eats Bodega, the host of GM Market Talk, your favorite dog, the founder of Bodoggos, soon to hit a blockchain near you. Absolutely love hearing his technical takes on the NFT market. We got Kix, the CEO of Crypto Raiders, a gaming CEO in his own right. He's launching Cyber Stadium today. It's a big day for Kix, too. He's got the steampunk look here I see on the simulcast. Love to see it. It looks like he's ready for his big release of Cyber Stadium. Signal, the host of Artist Spotlight, she put out a banging video with Young and Sick yesterday. Been loving seeing her link with artists and really showcase their work in a way that we're super excited about, and absolutely love hearing her sophisticated takes on the NFT market. Spencer, the CEO of Spencer Ventures, representing for institutional capital in the NFT space. Love hearing his takes on what's going up and what's going down. Of course, our producer, Clemente, we wouldn't be able to do the show without him. Last but not least, we got Bunny. Bunny, your bio just says you can't believe Vitalik dropped an NFT while you were napping.
Incredibly rude.
So you think he should have told you before?
Somebody should have fucking told me. I know Easy probably got some of them.
Minted 6.
I think Easy did. Well, we'll definitely DM Vitalik and let him know to slide in your DMs. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have a very special guest, the CEO of 9gag, representing for Potatoes, Meme Land, Captainz, and all the different action in their ecosystem. We have Ray Chan dialing in all the way from the far East Coast. Really excited to have Ray on the show today. Second time that we've talked to Ray. What's up, Nick? What are you
Pio, that's just an inappropriate...
What's going on?
You can't hear me?
Oh, goodness gracious.
You can't hear me.
I couldn't hear you. Could anybody hear what I was saying on the Twitter? Okay, thank goodness.
Okay.
Thank goodness.
So I was saying you gave the wrong introduction for Ray here. This guy is the devil reincarnated himself. And I just thought that maybe this would be an opportunity. What a day to have him on. Crypto Twitter is just enraged by this guy. Couldn't be more excited to have him on today to discuss. We had him on before and had a blast discussing Meme Land, and I bought some Meme Land. I also sold it, which was dumb. That never fade Ray is the sort of saying, the universal saying. That's buy low, sell high is one of Warren Buffett's sayings, and then his other saying is never fade Ray. So I'm looking forward to discuss with him the trademark saga, as well as other things going on in Meme Land, because there's a lot of things going on right now. This project has evolved dramatically from buttholes with rainbows shooting out of them to a much more evolved and refined project ever since then. So I'm pretty excited to chat. Should we do the news?
Buttholes before Yuga Labs?
Technically, he did. Dude, he had but it was potato butts.
Doesn't matter.
This man is an innovator.
An innovator of Web3 intellectual property. All right, well, look, we gotta talk to Ray. We have a big show today, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna talk to Ray, and then at the end of the show, we're gonna do everybody's favorite segment, buy, sell, or send it to zero with Easy Eats Bodega. So I think we're gonna have a little bit of an expedited start here and just dive into the weather report. Before I go into the weather report, ladies and gentlemen, as always, the show is sponsored by SoRare. If you like fantasy sports, if you like cryptocurrency, if you like NFTs, SoRare is the platform for you. It's a free-to-play platform where you can play fantasy sports just like on your existing fantasy sports platforms, but you actually have ownership over your players' cards. So the volume's been pumping on SoRare. Last month in February, they closed $22 million in sales volume, and that includes a $69,000 LeBron James card sale. Previous month, there was a almost $200,000 sale on a Giannis Antetokounmpo card. So the action... What was that? What was that? There was action over there, as you can tell. I don't know what ghost just came in through my microphone, but anyway, these NFTs are on layer 2 Ethereum on Starkware, and at this point, SoRare NBA alone has 3 million registered users. They also signed a 4-year deal with the English Premier League, which is the biggest soccer, football league in the world. So incredibly cool platform. Make sure you check it out. You can play against me if you join our league. Sign up at thenifty.com, TheNifty.com/SoRare. But over to the weather report and the newsletter updates so that we can talk to Ray right after. Kicks, please take it away,
Today is
sir.
Thursday, the 9th of March, 2023. Total market volume coming in 79 million. Blur at 53, OpenSea at 17. Looking at the leaders, we have Apes 70.4, Mutants 15.3, Punks 67, liking that Blur liquidity. Azuki 14.7, Moonbird 6.1, Pudgy's 5.7, Memeland Captainz 5.3, Doodles 5.1. Over the past 24 hours, Yuga Labs announced Other Side's second voyage happening on March 25th. The experience will be led by Captainz, and other deed holders will have the chance to invite a guest on this trip. Other deed at 100K supply, holding almost 2 ETH floor. The open edition play yesterday was Gitcoin, a protocol application with the aim to democratically allocate philanthropic funds. The market went wild, labeling it as an open edition co-created by Vitalik Buterin. The 9.2K collection with a mint price of 0.05 reached 0.7. Floor this morning settled at 0.5 ETH. Following Manifold's open edition success, Foundation now offers the same functionality. The team is kicking off with Replica, an edition series curated by the Foundation team with 35 top artists, including former artist Spotlight guest Corey Haber and PFP artist Mick Best, which is open right now, ends in 3 hours. I think that's 0.05. Lastly, controversy is hitting on Twitter whether Claire Silver's work is exhibiting at the official Louvre Museum or in the underground mall called Carousel de Louvre, which is where Paris Blockchain Week is taking place. A video from YouTuber Adrian Pocabelli surfaced the information, and we're yet to confirm which location it is being used to display the works. Quickly looking at crypto, Bitcoin 21.6, ETH 1530, Solana 18.5, Ape 4.3, Blur 57 cents. Back to you in the studio.
Well, thank you for the weather report, Kicks. I can't tell if you've done drugs because of the Cyber Stadium release today, because your pronunciation and overall rhythm was in a pretty interesting place. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, other updates from the Nifty Daily Digest.
How do you say Philin?
Yeah, nice try, Nick. Tough guy.
I don't want to say it. Well, because if I say it, then you're going to say it.
Say it again.
Philanthropically.
There we go. There you go.
Philanthropy.
Ladies and gentlemen, you just can't read. Don't worry about it. He knows the word. He just can't read it. Anyway, the Nifty Daily Digest, our daily newsletter. Sign up at thenifty.com. Here are the updates. Crypto-friendly bank Silvergate announced it will voluntarily liquidate and wind down after it stated that it was less than well capitalized. You gotta love these crypto entities' descriptions. It's a goddamn bank, and their quote was they were less than well capitalized. Crypto security expert, and I'll call him a blockchain sleuth, Zach XBT, announced he will no longer be taking community requests for research after he found the business model unsustainable. Gee, what a shocking news event that Zach XBT can't take every single Twitter mention request to investigate random ass crypto people. Coinbase introduced wallet as a service, a way for companies or brands to seamlessly onboard their users to Web3 and not require users to worry about seed phrases. Gotta love progression on the technology and custody side of the NFT space. Digital art platform Foundation announced it has new functionality to allow the launch of 24-hour open editions directly from their website. Doesn't sound like that groundbreaking to me, but hey, they announced it. Last but not least, Alluvium. The Web3 game development team announced a new collectible card game, the proceeds of which will be used for a safety pool of funds to mitigate macroeconomic uncertainty. Interesting. One last update on the Solana side. Claynosaurs, the popular Solana NFT collection, has done more 24-hour volume than, get this, Bored Ape Yacht Club, and is in second place overall for 24-hour NFT volume for a single collection. That's pretty crazy stuff right there. Holy shit. So it's literally Animoca Brands Mochaverse, and then Claynosaurs, and then Bored Ape Yacht Club. That is insane. Very bullish for Solana. Love to see that. Anyway, those are your updates from the Nifty Daily Digest, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to take a moment to welcome our very special guest. Second time he's joined us on our show. This is the 9gag CEO, Ray Chan, representing 9gag, Meme Land, Captainz, Potatoes, and many more Web3 and non-Web3 entities. Ray, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining, sir.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We got to start with the glaring issue, the issue, the matter at hand. I don't even know if I can say it because the three letters. But in all seriousness, can you walk us through what yesterday when we were discussing the trademark application situation, the saga that was going on? We thought initially that it was a marketing campaign. And that's how Spencer even categorized it at that time, was that maybe this was like when the Kardashians tried to trademark kimono. What was a similar situation. Is that the intention here, or are you genuinely trying to trademark PFP? And maybe you can explain what's going on there.
Yeah. Our holders say that, okay, the Nifty show compare Ray with Kim, right? So it's an achievement, right? It's already a big win. Yeah, I think that's that's like an expected result, right? But I think I will take it, right? Yeah, I think for us, it's not very strategic move. It's just like a basic business move for us, right? Because I think some time ago, we bought the PFP.com, we bought PFP.ETH. And that's why I think as a business 101, I think when we are investing resources into launching the platform, right, of course, I think we should protect our brand. That's why we submit the trademark application, right? And I think a lot of people have misunderstanding about trademark, how trademark works. I think that's why it causes some discussion on the crypto and NFT trader. Yeah.
Well, I'm not a lawyer on trademarks. All that I know is that I've spent a bunch of money on trademarks in the past, and it was
to make big acquisitions.
Yeah,
like
you try to apply Aqua, right?
So you heard that one.
Yeah.
So no, I actually had another one called Holler, and I own the domain holler.com, and I spent probably $150,000 on like acquiring other trademarks that were blocking it. There were all sorts of other things that were like this whole process that I had to go through, and I never want to go through that again. But I am wondering from the standpoint of PFP, it was Agua or maybe Aqua. I don't know which one it was. I think it was Agua. Like there's some limitation around what you can and can't trademark. I saw someone from your community posted a screenshot that you had of trademarks for, and I'm blanking on the words, but it was just like plain English words that were used. In Facebook, for example, trademarked book and they trademarked face, but associated with social networking. And so I'm wondering like what the context is here, because if you trademark PFP with NFTs, is that applicable?
By the way, do you know that Nick is trademarked, right, in the US for 14
by Nickelodeon?
Categories? Yeah, Nick. No, I think it's owned by Viacom. Yeah, and also owned by BuzzFeed. Right, so you have to change your name. Right? If that's really how it works, right? Yeah, I think same goes for other trademark. Right? I think from the business standpoint, I think it's just like a protection, right? More than an offense when we try to trademark, right? Because I know that I'm not a dick, right? But I don't know whether Nick is a dick, right? So that's the reason why we have to protect ourselves. Yeah.
It makes sense from protection. My understanding with trademark is you have to like enforce it, which means like there were situations back in the day where when Facebook trademarked face, they sent their legal team, their in-house legal team, which has to, you know, justify their salaries, would send out emails to other companies in the social networking space, and people had to shut down their company as a result of using face in the name associated with their company, and they had to rename it. So that is something. I mean, as much as I like to joke about it, in the area, I understand the face one. Like that one is like, if you're making a social network, don't have face in it. It's probably not a good move because Facebook is what everybody knows. But what they wouldn't say is like, it would be like trademarking social media for social media, maybe, if that makes sense. And I guess that's what people are trying to say. It sounds like you don't think that that's the case, though. So we don't need to stick on it. I'm just sort of curious what the context is there. Again, I'm not a lawyer, though, so I don't have any way of like actually drawing the line on what makes sense and what isn't. Your statement makes sense as well. I just thought that, you know, what someone had explained to me is once you have a trademark, you have to defend it and enforce the ownership of that trademark in order for it to be a valid trademark as much as it's registered. So that was my understanding, and maybe I'm confused about that.
I think it's not that complicated, right? I mean, on one hand, as a brand, as a brand, right, you need to trademark it in order to get protected, right? That's why most, I would say, normal businesses, they would do that. Right? I think in Web3, I don't know why people feel like, okay, Web3 is kind of like out of the world, right? That's why, okay, we just do things in a decentralized way. I mean, there's no decentralized trademark, right? You can't say that you are on Web3, you put it on chain, that's why you're protected, right? That's why as a business, right, we have to protect the assets that we have. And in order to really make it work for our holders, right, for our community, I think it's just like some very basic protection. I think people make it, I mean, it's kind of like everything in NFT or crypto, right? I think people try to amplify some small things and then without understanding how it works, and then to criticize, right? And then make early judgment before they see how it works, right? I think that's why it's fun to be in NFT and crypto and Web3. Yeah.
It sounds like what you're saying is, hey, you decentralization maxis, you people that own Bitcoin, y'all are a bunch of idiots. And basically the real world is the legal world, okay? That's corporate America world, and we're not disrupting that. We're just taking that framework and putting it on top of the crypto and Web3 space. So for all of you that are decentralization maxis, oh, you want to go run a DAO? Good luck turning that into a business. That's not a business. It's going to fail miserably. And that's speaking from myself. I'm going to be honest, Ray. I don't even need to
I thought those were direct quotes from Ray.
Initially, they were quotes, but now it's like shifted in a direction where I'm sort of just feeling it as well. All these people that think DAOs have any potential of succeeding, y'all are jokers, okay? And Ray seems to be on my team when it comes to that, and we're following the legal constructs, and we're more interested in actual corporations running things, and they follow the laws, all right? So we've had enough of all of you people who were saying, you know, spreading false rumors about Ray's trademarks on a show called NFT Morning Show and saying those sorts of things. No. How dare you?
No. Well, look, how about a yes, Ray, to that bid you put in on the golden key? So obviously you ended up getting outbid by basically just one Ethereum. Yeah, very, very little money. But for people that don't have context, the golden key, which effectively is the only one-of-one asset in the entire Yuga Labs and Bored Ape Yacht Club ecosystem, it was the prize for the individual that finished first place in the Dookie Dash game which you had to own a sewer pass for. The winner of that game was, of course, professional video game player, Fortnite pro Mongrel. And we saw several bids come in on that key. Ray put in a 999 Ethereum bid, which I think at the time was something north of $1.5 million. The winning bid ended up coming in like literally, you know, $1,500 higher at 1,000 Ethereum. So I guess Mongrel wanted that nice round number. But Ray, can we get some context on what prompted you to do that? Obviously, it's a pretty sizable move.
And why did he disrespect you?
I don't know. Maybe I'm Asian. Right.
Oh, shit. It was racism.
No.
Mongrels are racist.
Okay, it's okay if I say that as I'm an Asian, right? But jokes aside, right? I think for us, loser is loser, right? I think no matter how much we lose, I think it's like a fair game, right? And I think I talked to Adam, the winner, right? The buyer, right? I think he mentioned to me that okay, basically they have a deal, right? Before we put in the bid, right? That's why the bid kind of like went with that way, yeah. And he blamed me for increasing his cost. Yeah, so I mean, it's all fair. Yeah, I think I got in touch with the seller and the buyer. I think at least right now we get one more followers. Yeah, we got Mongrel as a follower. Yeah, so it's a win. Free marketing, also one more follower. Total win. Yeah.
Just placing bids in order to get followers. I like that strategy. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. In terms of, it just feels like I don't know the Mongrel. Did you talk with Mongrel after you placed the bid?
I talked to him before we placed the bid. He didn't reply, and then I placed the bid, and then he replied.
And what did he say? Was he like, nah, man, you gotta pay me $1,500 more? Was there any negotiating?
No. I mean, he's a good guy, right? That's why he said that. Okay, thanks for your bid, thanks for your time, and something like that, right? I mean, basically, I think the whole thing is almost like people dramatize the whole thing. Okay, they don't respect you, they don't respect meme land and stuff like that. It's not like that, right? I think it's most of the things in life is actually much simpler than people expected, right? And I think for the key, I think for us, honestly, we are kind of like conflicted, right? I also share with our holders. Okay, what if we win, right? What do we do with that? Should we just burn the key and then to see what you guys does with their story, right? Because the key is kind of like the key part of their storytelling, right? And even for us to bid on the key, it's like, okay, just a casual Discord discussion with our holders, with our MVPs, and then we say, oh, what if we place a bid on the key and then we place a bid, and then that's how it works. I think people overthink too much, and for us, we just don't overthink, and then if it's fun, then we do it, right? That's how we roll. Yeah.
That was clear when we interviewed you last time on the show, which was that you you like having fun with your company. And I mean, if anyone looks at Meme Land, it's pretty clear
yeah. And by the way, that's like half a year ago, right? But I felt so long, right? I just checked my calendar. I went on the morning show in September 7th, right? Before our Captainz meet. You guys are the first show that I went on to. So it's like, but I feel like it's like a few years already. It's crazy.
It does feel like it's been a while. The thing I was wondering about is what do you think the use case is? We saw Pixel Vault bid on the key as well. What do you think the value? Well, my understanding was, first of all, you use your own personal wallet, so it wasn't so it was the company. And
it's the treasury. Yeah.
Okay. What do you think the utility is, like the value in terms of outside of the marketing, which you already have shown to have like good marketing skills, but I'm wondering like what the utility is of bidding on these different things, or is the idea, hey, us just bidding on this is effective enough, we can always sell it. It's an asset on the books, so it's not like we've just bought a Super Bowl ad and don't have anything at the end of it. Instead, what we have is like an asset that's on the books. But what do you think the utility is for these different brands? Because Pixel Vault went in, placed a bid as well. what's the value outside of just the marketing and placing that bid?
What's the value of NFT, right? I mean, the value is in the eyes of the beholders, right? If we think that okay, we can create more value out of it, then it's a good bid, it's a good deal, right? I think that's how we see it, right? And at the end of the day, I think for a top asset, right, in the Yuga ecosystem, I think that can be fun to play with. Yeah, I think that creates a lot of imagination. And I think for Web3, basically, we don't really have to think that long, right? If we win, right, we can just, okay, launch a competition. Oh, if you for a law creation competition, and then we just pick the best one, right? I think that's how Web3 works, right? We don't have to think about all the things. We can actually do things with our community, right? But we have to take some action so that we create, we have more resources, we have more assets to kind of like create the rich stories that we can, yeah.
So it sounds like the strategy is do it for the lulz, like basically do it for the memes, maybe a better way of saying it. And that's the strategy for meme land, is saying, hey, we don't need to think through like have a high level plan with this. It's just it's fun. So
that sounds like we are reckless, right? So I want to rephrase it. We want to rephrase it in a way that because we embrace the ethos of Web3, that's why we want to take action and then grow the story, write the story with our community. That's a better way to put it, right? Because it feels like, okay, we're just randomly placing bid and buying random shit, right? And that doesn't sound very responsible, right? Yeah.
That's fair. I always phrase things in probably the most negative light, maybe, or something. But look, our comments we do for the lulz. Pio, you was there anything you wanted to add?
Well, no, I mean, look, the whole bidding on the golden key was absolutely fascinating. I think it makes sense when you kind of frame it this way. The idea of you guys buying it and then actually burning it would have been really wild. Like, that would have been a wild move. At that point, you're making $1 billion company, have a whole strategy rework because one of their assets that they had plans for is, disappeared. Shifting gears to meme land and to Captainz, a lot of people have been tweeting at us since we, posted that you're coming on the show, asking about the Captainz reveal. I think a lot of people are wondering, what the story is there. When you came on the show the first time, you walked us through how you decided that potatoes were going to be showing their butt, and then you debated whether the potatoes would continue showing their butt. And you're like, yeah, why don't we do a different angle on it? I'd love to hear a little bit about what the story is with Captainz right now.
Do you want the serious version or the fun version?
Both.
Both. I mean, I bought a lot of NFTs. Yeah, and I understand quite well how the community reacts to review, right? So the longer it doesn't review, the better the floor price. Yeah, that's the serious version, right? The fun version would be okay, indeed it's not really that fun. Yeah. But I think the goal is, how can we make something that kind of like interesting? Yeah. Anyway, I forgot. I lost my train of thought because it's not that funny. Yeah. So that I forgot it. Yeah. But anyway, I feel like the whole thing about a gradual review is more about how can we tell our holders that we are actually building more than just the artwork, right? Because I think most of the time, the biggest issue in current Web3 is people are very impatient, right? So if you just review and then they just move on, yeah, because they get a flaw and then they just don't care, right? It almost rhymes, right? And indeed, how can we change that? It's basically we don't do a very quick review. Basically, we want to create more victim, right? Quote unquote victim. In the sense that they all have like Stockholm syndrome, right? Because they're in the community so long that they kind of like the community, they kind of like the vibe, they kind of like what you're building, right? So that, okay, even when you review and then you get a flaw, right? And then you don't sell because you feel that you vibe with that community. I think that's the things that we want to test. We don't know whether it works or not, but at least I think it's worth trying, right? Because if we just copy and paste all other projects are doing, what's the point of launching our own projects? Yeah.
Wow. I mean, wow. You know, at the end of the day, ever since the first time we spoke with you, I did feel like, you know, you had a sophisticated understanding of the NFT space. Just dragging out the reveals so that people end up getting, you know, brainwashed into being in the community. No, obviously, I'm joking with the verbiage there. Nick, go ahead.
I have questions just from the perspective of running an NFT business, which is what I'm super curious about. Look, you're adept at doing so based on what we're seeing. Like, people seem to value meme land and your NFT ecosystem. You've built a significant audience here. And I think you've done so in a way where, like, people were familiar with 9gag, but I think I don't think that that's what made meme land what it is today. I think it showed an ability to execute from an entrepreneurial side of things and the ability to build a company, and in that case, a software startup, essentially a content software startup. I don't know how you would categorize it, but I'll do it for you. And the but I'm curious as someone who, look, we have an NFT as well. We're in the process of rolling out NFTs and premium ones, as well as we think that there's other interesting and innovative opportunities in this space as well. But first of all, when it comes to like strategy around NFTs, and like what you all are building right now, when you think about what you're developing, what percentage of when you think about it as a business, how would you describe it? Because I look to you all, I look to what Gabe Layden's developing, I look to some other people in this space, and what they've spent an inordinate amount of time on is just the NFTs themselves. And that's been a major part of the interaction. If you want to call gaming and NFT land so far, has really been about the game is collecting and trading. And that's been where it's at. I'm wondering, how do you view that market-wise? Is that how, like, are you focused on that element of things? And really, is that part of what, you know, drawing this out is? And the second part of that question is, how is your team structured as it applies to like NFT department? Does it exist as an NFT department? Is that like creatives? Do you have like a strategy team that's operating there? What does that look like? Because I don't think we've seen this sort of entity. There's no comparable things that exist prior to the past 2 years. And we're kind of all making it up. So I'm curious how you're approaching it and how you're thinking about it organizationally, like in building an NFT business. How do you think about that?
I think I shared that publicly, that the way that we see Memeland, right, as a Web3 venture studio, we see it as like a free course meal, right? NFT is for building the community, right? Because you have the image, right? You have the Discord, you have the chat, right? So that people feel like they belong to our community, right? So NFT is great for building community. And then the way to create value, right? We want to launch a fungible token, right? In that sense, it's for value creation, because fungible token is the best way to decentralize the value of what you are creating, right? Because even for Yuga Labs, right, not everyone can buy a Bored Ape, right? Not even a Sewer Key, Sewer Pass, right? But everyone, if you have $5, right, you can buy an ape coin, right? So I think a fungible token is the best way to create value for the holders, right? But at the end of the day, there are still some people, they just want to use your product. That's why we have to create products for people to kind of like spend their coins, spend their meme coin and stuff like that. And that's why we believe that the mass adoption is more on the product side. Yeah, because even whether you own US dollars or not, right, you can still travel to the US, right? That's how we think about the whole Web3 strategy. It's like a free course meal. And that's why I think that, by the way, this is like what we do, right? I'm not saying that this is the best way, right? Yeah. And I feel like for us, NFT itself is a necessary condition, right? In building a Web3 business. Yeah. But it's not a sufficient condition, because honestly, right, after some time, especially with the royalty and stuff, right, there's no very sustainable business model just by launching NFT alone, if you see it as a business, unless you launch it as like a membership pass or like an artwork that doesn't really create any utility. So I feel like that part is how we see NFT. And in order to on the structure of our team, basically we need to have a team that focus a lot on the mechanism, on NFT, on staking, right, and the artwork and stuff like that. But at the same time, because we are also building a few SoFi products, right, so we also have to have a team to build out those products. Because I think NFT itself and also the SoFi products, right, they don't really overlap that much. That's why.
Sorry, what types of products? What was the
SoFi? Yeah.
SocialFi, like social finance?
Social finance, right? We have holders.com, we have pfp.com, right? Basically, they are how we envision our Web3 should be, right? That's why we build all those products, right? I think I mentioned that last time. I'm not sure, right? Yeah, because I talk so much, so I don't really remember what I said, right? Yeah. So for holders.com, it's like a Web3, it's the trip advisor for a Web3 journey, right? Basically, there are so many Web3 projects, NFT projects, and we believe that there will be more, right? So how can you find a good project? Right now, you go to Twitter and then you search and you find a lot of scam links, right? And then, or you go to Discord or Telegram, they are token gated, right? So I feel like, okay, this doesn't seem like a very efficient way to discover projects, right? That's why a lot of influencers, they have so much power in doing pump and dump shit, right? And that's why the space doesn't scale very well, right? That's why we want to create a platform to kind of like help people to discover good projects, right? And then for pfp.com, what we are trying to do is, can we bring Web3 to existing IPs, for example, like manga, anime, K-pop groups, and stuff like that, right? Instead of, okay, they have to launch a shitty collection that people think that they're cash grab and then they don't know how to manage their community, right? I feel like NFT itself is very cool, but we need to help the existing brands to navigate, right? Because when you look at the current NFT space, 80%, 90% people are only in it for flipping, right? For profit, right? No industry can work if 90% of people are only trading, right? We need people actually to collect the items, right? That's why we need to tap into the existing fan base, existing IPs in order to do so, right? That's how we see our strategy. And we have the meme coin to across all the product, so that when we launch a token, it's not just a speculation. It actually, there are already tokens saying to be ready for the meme coin to be used. That's how we see the whole strategy of meme.
So we have a similar viewpoint, I think, of sort of how onboarding will happen. I don't know. When it comes to product, everyone has a nuanced, like product can become very nuanced outside of like we all can have the exact same vision, but our implementation ends up being completely different. And that's what's awesome about product. That's one of the things that's really cool about it. But you also mentioned that you do have two separate teams. It sounds like you're investing primarily on the product side. I want to just, you said that we do have a standalone NFT side of things. How large is a team like that? Like, how do you think about structuring something like it? Like, I'll tell you on our side, the way that we have it. We have multiple artists. Artists are like a large portion of that. We have strategy, although we don't have, well, actually, we do have technically an assigned person who helps us with strategy right now. Who may or may not be on the show. And then there's also the actual, then there's the product side separately, which we're also doing as well. I don't think we're doing it at the scale that you are, but we're a lean, mean machine when it comes to our sort of structure. But is it something similar? Is it basically art and strategy is like how you think about essentially an NFT team? Is there are there developers on that team? Is it a division? And because I think a lot of people are going to want to like continue replicating it, or is it also a partnership with like agencies? How do you think about that?
For us, I mean, we always love small teams, right? Because I think human beings are the most troublesome part in building a company, right? That's why we just try to hire the best we can, right? And then just give them high salary and stuff in order to, or hire a big team and stuff in order to manage people and stuff like that, right? So for us, it's always a small team. Even for NiGet, I think we only have like 30, 40 people in NiGet, right? Running 100 millions of social media platform, right? So I think that part is kind of like that when we started our Web3 arm, right? We have about 8 people in our Web3 team for managing the meme land stuff, right? On the product side, that we will have, and we have another team to work on the products that I just mentioned, right? But the main reason, I think I shared that on other platforms as well, is basically the means fund for Captainz, right? Is for us to scale up the team, right? Because honestly, if you want to build something, right, you still have to hire people to do that. Right? You just can't keep launching NFT projects, right? I think maybe if you are an artist, it works okay. But if you are trying to build something bigger, I think we still need to hire better talent, more talents to join us. And that's something that we try to do this time. Because for NiGad, we always keep it a very small team, very conservative, right? But for Web3, we want to do something that we never did with NiGad, which is, okay, let's hit it big, right? Let's go big or go home, that kind of style. Yeah.
Great answer. I mean, look, I want to ask one more question. Then I want to open it up if Kix or Spencer Signal Easy
and
want to
also
ask
we can
anything.
talk on some of the stories as well and get some context on that. But go ahead. What were you going to say?
Yeah, I was going to ask, like, Ray, obviously, you know, you've done your homework on NFTs, and the way that you're operating in NFTs is a very original way. Could you make any predictions maybe over the next 12 months, the next 12 to 24 months, what you think could be macro trends in Web3 and NFTs? You know, we have our own ideas, but I'd just be curious, like, when you think about it, what do you think what would you predict will kind of happen, whether it's on the market side, the product side, just all things NFTs and Web3?
I want to be cool and say that we create a future, right? So that we don't make prediction, right? Yeah, but actually, I think the current Web3 or at least NFT, I think the current way doesn't work. Because on one hand is because of the community and the unrealistic expectation, right, for the current so-called degens, right. On the other hand, I think NFT is still very expensive to a lot of people, right. I feel like that the big shift, which is also something that we are building right now, is can we make NFT an affordable luxury? Maybe around $100, right? I think it's still quite expensive, but it's like going to a good concert, right? Or going to a good restaurant, right? I think that is a sweet spot for branded NFT, right? That with work with brands and stuff like that, right? Instead of, okay, we minted at like 1 ETH, right? Because to be honest, even if you minted a luxurious brand NFT, most of the time the brands doesn't know what to do with it. Yeah, and that's also echo to next question of whether we want to work with whether we are working with an agency and stuff like that. I think most of the agency out there, they actually don't know how to launch NFT projects. Yeah, I'm not saying that they are bad, right? It's just that,
you're right.
Yeah, most of the time, maybe they bought some Bored Apes or bought punks, right? And then the owners as a OG and stuff like that, right? But the Web3 space moves so fast, right? So if you first bought your NFT 2 years ago, right, basically you didn't really follow that much on how the space has evolved, right? And when the bear market hits, how come so many branded projects they didn't even mint out? It's because the whole dynamic has changed and the expectation has changed, and people are very careful with what they do. That's why you see a lot of degen projects still get kind of like pumped, but a lot of kind of like a more established team and they didn't mint out. Right? So I feel like there's a big disconnect between the so-called Web3 agency with the actual need and actual community. So I feel like you have to get your hands dirty as a founder, as a team. You have to understand how it works, and then try to don't try to be too lazy, right? To think about all the things that's happening, and that's also the fun part of Web3, which is, okay, there's something new every single day, and probably a new meta every 2 weeks, right? We talk about the checks, right? Like 4 weeks ago. And then, okay, open edition is the new meta, right? But maybe 2 weeks later, there's another new meta. I think those are the fun thing in Web3. And I think as a founder, as a team, probably you can't just rely on an agency to do that. Yeah.
You definitely have to love it. There's no question about that. Nick?
Well, we're launching a whole checks division actually within our organization. So I'm pretty excited about that. We may have missed it by a couple of weeks, but I think that, like, look, and what we're learning is you got to be more agile with this. When you see the memes come up, you just got to, like, you need to be faster to get on top of it. So we're just I think what we need to expand that into is a meme division. In all seriousness, I appreciate your responses on this, and my questions may be nuanced in terms of like organizational structure. But I think back to like the years of like Facebook app development, and at that time, you didn't even have like product analytics was like a new thing that was evolving at that point. In fact, I feel like a large portion of it came out of the Facebook apps. You had at that time, Google Analytics was the thing that was everyone was using, and that was about page views and users on URLs. And then what happened was we started introducing like event analytics, and there were and then growth hacking became a thing out of it. And there were a lot of sort of structures, including social media as a whole, that became institutionalized and organizationally within like marketing departments and product departments, which we have like roles that exist within the organization. And I feel like with NFTs, there's something similar. Like you can bet, hey, is this going to end up in the marketing department, which is where I think a lot of people will end up placing it. There's a side that ends up in the tech department, but it's comparable to what we've seen before with social media. And so that's why I end up asking these sorts of questions to understand, hey, how are people thinking about this as an organization? Because inevitably, whether it happens right now or it happens in the next 24 months, as Pio is saying, I do think corporations and organizations are going to be saying, hey, how do we utilize this technology, this sort of product area that exists and that there's clearly a demand for, and how do we integrate that into our own business? And so we're sort of creating the playbook for what that looks like. So that's why I asked those sorts of questions. And more importantly, we want to be doing that ourselves within our organization, which is why I ask about it. So I sort of like enjoy comparing notes. But yeah, appreciate your honest answers on that.
1,000%. I mean, look, ladies and gentlemen, we have 9gag CEO Ray Chan on the show today. What a show it's been. Got to do a quick shout out to our sponsors, SoRare. If you sign up at the nifty.com/SoRare, you'll have an opportunity to play SoRare for free. It's a free fantasy sports NFT game. You talk about low cost NFTs like we've been talking about in this conversation. The initial batch of NFTs that you get are for free. And so you're able to play every week. I've actually been getting my ass kicked a little bit in the leagues that I've been playing in. A couple of my players haven't been performing. I am glad that I didn't make a big buy on a Ja Morant card. All you NBA fans probably know about the meltdown that's been happening with him. But anyway, if you want to play a free-to-play sports game where it's soccer, football, or basketball, or excuse me, soccer, baseball, or basketball, soccer meaning international football, sign up at the nifty.com/SoRare. That's THENIFTY.com/SoRare. So Nick, we got buy, sell, and send it to zero that we're going to get to. It sounded like you wanted to discuss some of the stories of the space, perhaps with Ray. Nick, over to you. You can lead the way on this.
Appreciate that. In terms of, well, there actually is a relevant thing here, which is the other side. What is this? The experience will be led by Captainz and other deeds holders.
Second trip.
So is that Captainz from Meme Land?
I don't think so. Yeah.
What are Captainz? What is this?
Unless Yuga wants to acquire us, right? Yeah. I think the rumor starts here. Yeah. 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 No. I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. Yeah, but I definitely understand that. I definitely see that. I think we all love butts, right? And talk about dick jokes and stuff like that. I mean, it's kind of like we are in the same channel, same wavelength. Yeah. So yeah. I think we can probably work together very well. Yeah, Yuga. Yeah, you can think about Meme Land. Yeah.
I guess we created the rumor on this show and then just dispelled the rumor.
9gag acquisition by Yuga.
So yeah, I guess that's not happening. Real quick, I do think it's worthwhile to discuss this Vitalik thing. And it pumped as high as like 0.55. It pulled back. Did any of you?
0.8.
What was it?
Pumped as high as 0.8.
Did you sell it that easy?
No, dude. I papered the shit out of these.
What did you sell at?
6 of them and sold between 0.12 and 0.14 because that was the first peak, and then it retraced all the way back to mint, and then just took off. And I should have known. You had a bunch of people on the timeline shilling the shit out of this. And what I hated though was like, I think I might have been the only one on the timeline who actually did their research on this thing. Vitalik is not actually like a creator. You just get his ebook, which released in June of last year, and you get it virtually. So I was like, why am I holding this? It's an ebook.
Is he even officially associated with this?
It literally says co-creator him, and the website that they minted the open edition on is his good causes website. So it's for like a donation website for like actual like good work, public causes, etc. So he is associated. But
did he tweet about it?
No, he tweeted about the website 7 months ago, tweeted about the ebook a year and a half ago, and then people were speculating he might tweet again. Which
See,
is
your
like,
problem, Easy, is you did too much research.
I know.
So
I made
you
too much
110
sense.
IQ'd it. You really needed a 55 IQ this one.
I literally responded to Thread Guy. He posted and was like, so can anyone tell me what this is? I was like, you get a book. And he's like, and then what? I was like, you can read it. And he was like, oh. And that was it. Like, that's the value add.
Ray, how big of a holder are you in these NFTs here?
I mean, I think that shows a big disconnect between crypto and NFT, right? Gitcoin is like a crowdfunding platform for crypto projects, right? Funded by Ethereum Foundation, right? I mean, I'm not sure whether it's exactly the exact condition, right? But basically, it's been around for quite a long time. A lot of good projects come out of Gitcoin, right? It's almost like you support it, and then the foundation will also kind of like give a one-on-one match, right?
Uniswap came out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
One of the ones.
It's been around for quite a long time, right? So I think right now when they do NFT and stuff like that, it's more like, okay, it seems like to them it's like a marketing trick, right, to get more people to understand what they do. That's why when I saw on tweet, I also saw the Fred guy tweet first, yeah, and then he said, okay, why don't you buy an NFT that's by Vitalik, right? And I was like, every NFT on Ethereum is kind of like related to Vitalik, right? And I would love to buy what Vitalik created, and that's called Ethereum. Yeah, that's what I buy, right? Every day, DCA and stuff like that, right? So that's why I didn't buy, right? I mean, I'm degen, but not that kind of degen. Yeah.
I got a question for you, Ray, unrelated to this. What's the most expensive NFT that you hold?
It's a Bored Ape. It's my first NFT. Yeah.
So you have one Bored Ape?
Yeah, one Bored Ape. Yeah, it's the first one. Yeah, and at that time, I was so naive to think that, okay, when I bought a Bored Ape, I could be a cool guy. Yeah, but turns out people don't care. Yeah.
Literally, when I walk in the streets, literally here in Brooklyn, women surround me and say, wow, you have a Bored Ape. I cannot believe it. I am inspired. What do I need to do to be with you? And it's actually, so that's what it's like over here in Brooklyn. I guess it's not in your neck of the woods. Though, but yeah, I can barely get outside due to the flood of female demand that's been generated as a result of my ownership in this currently depreciating asset.
Well, go ahead, Nick.
I was going to say, should we cover any of the other stories first, or we can move on?
Yeah, I mean, we can move on. So look, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do a segment right here. Ray, feel free to participate. I also understand if you don't want to ruffle feathers. But ladies and gentlemen, here's a little segment. Buy, sell, or send it to zero.
Is this a new intro?
Easy Eats Bodega, day trader extraordinaire.
I just bought one.
No, you didn't.
Please sell it.
Oh, no.
Zero. Send it to zero, Easy. This thing is garbage.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Buy, Sell, or Send It to Zero with our very own Easy Eats Bodega. In this segment, we will name 3 collections today and their current floor prices, give a little bit of context, and then Easy's going to let us know if he's going to buy them, sell them, or send them to zero. We'll also go around the panel. We'll see if Ray wants to chime in. No obligation to, but we'll see what Bunny, Kicks, Signal, and everybody, Nick, think of these different picks. So Easy, are you ready for buy, sell, or send it to zero?
Oh, I was born ready. Didn't sleep last night. Was so excited for it.
Let's go. It sounds like a normal evening for Easy. First collection, Cryptoadz at 1.2 Ethereum. Clemente wrote that this is a historical collection by Gremplin. I don't know if it's a historical collection or just something that came out in 2021 by Gremplin. They are pixelated toads. He is the same artist as Moonbird's Oddities. At one point, the floor price on Cryptoadz ran up to 14 Ethereum. The CryptoPunk community really bought into Cryptoadz. Bored Ape community seemed like all the NFT insiders were saying that Cryptoadz was a vibe, caused a crazy pump. Easy, are you buying, selling, or sending Cryptoadz at 1.2 Ethereum to zero?
So right now I'd be selling it. I don't think it ever goes to 0, but we are up to like this 1-2 range again. It actually had some good volume today. Like 25 sales, 30 sales in the last day, which is pretty solid, 32 ETH in volume. And it's up about 8% today alone. This, however, is right back into its previous range from like the entire month of February was 1-2. Before it was confirmed that the Cryptoadz had nothing to do with sewer passes, there was a lot of speculation on it, like Toad Mode somehow being tied in, which caused a small run up. Got confirmed it wasn't, sold off to 1. But my thing is, like, with Gremplin, we're going to probably see more collections. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of my thesis. And this does have the historic value, but there's nothing else really going on with it. So I'd be perfectly comfortable taking profit here. Nice 20% gain if you got it off the lows, basically the entirety of March so far, and just kind of get out. I think there's better liquidity plays is my main thesis.
Yeah, I would sell these, roll them into Bitcoin toads, which I own 2 of, which are now worth 0.3 Bitcoin. Which if you convert that, I'm no mathematician, but I think that's like 3.54 ETH.
I gotta take, dude. My portfolio is like all L's. Dude, I'm such a diamond hander. I diamond that diamond hand it into the ground. At this point,
it's paper like, you diamond hand it. If we combined, we'd be unbeatable.
Yeah, we need some balance here. Yeah, this is a ridiculous situation. I was debating selling it yesterday, but I own 1, and it's sort of like, what am I going to do?
Don't sell 1. Like, you've held this for so long.
$1,500.
So in my opinion, this is one of those things that like every cycle, Cryptoadz will have its pump. Every single cycle. Like when Clemente said it's a historical NFT, something about it gains a random wave of traction. And this is one of the ones like next bull, I could just see something causing them to run up again just because of what it is.
I just feel like the next bull is not going to be the same as this bull, but I like it. Ray, are you buyer or seller here?
I usually don't buy for. Yeah, I buy expensive NFT. Yeah, so if someone is selling the ghost, right? Because the ghost is like the top of cryptos, right? Then I will be buying some, right? Because I think for these kind of NFTs, I really want to collect them. If I buy 4, I don't want to send a signal that, okay, I just keep flipping and stuff, right? I mean, maybe my alternative account will do that, but my main account, I just keep buying. Yeah.
So what's your offer price on the most rare toad?
I don't use offer. I just buy. I don't want to wait. Yeah.
So if it's like listed, he may start swinging.
Gratification. What's the
if it's listed at a price point that I feel comfortable, right? Then maybe I buy. Right? So, that's how I bought my crypto dick butt. Yeah.
Would you feel comfortable at like $100,000?
$100,000. That means how much ETH? Yeah, I don't think in dollars.
75 ETH.
Maybe not. Yeah, I think maybe 69 or lower. Yeah.
Okay, well there we go. 69 ETH for the most rare Cryptoad.
Praise the fucking man, dude.
You may get a lot of DMs now. Actually, here's one listed for 69,420. So that
this is the ghost. This is not a big ghost. Yeah.
So this isn't the best. Sorry, this one's a hard pass from Ray. Let's move.
Pass, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry to the seller, but get that out of here if you're looking for Ray as a buyer. Signal, what do you think? Are you buying, selling, or sending Cryptoadz to 0?
I'm gonna say Page is easy here. I'm gonna say sell. They always have that. It's it's a little bit like dick butts. They just sometimes have this like anomalous
cultural
pump.
Movement.
Yeah, and then they come down. But the good thing about them is that they're here to stay. But I don't see a catalyst event right now, so I'd be a sell. But I love the collection.
Well, fantastic responses from everyone all around. That's a sell call from Easy on Cryptoadz at 1.2 ETH. Second collection out of 3 that we're going to talk about here. On-chain monkey at 3 Ethereum floor price. So this is the first 10K collection.
Sell the shit out of this garbage.
All right, to be inscribed on Bitcoin via the Ordinals protocol. Since the Ordinals inscription was announced, they've done an over 3x up to 3 ETH. The founder seems to be very respected from a technical perspective in the blockchain and Web3 space. Easy Eats Bodega, on-chain monkey at 3 Ethereum. Buy, sell, or send it to 0.
This is a sell for me as well. It got its run up from the Ordinal hype. Ordinals post Yuga. I actually posted a tweet like probably 3 weeks ago saying that post Yuga, I think Ordinals cool off because like the next big catalyst on Ordinals is probably Taproot Wizards by Udi. And once that drops, I think you'll see another run because I think those cause some traction. But right now it's like the narrative of it all. And we're seeing a bunch of projects already do this. Onchain Monkey's already inscribed on Bitcoin. So they have decent inscription numbers, which is like what's holding the value where it is right now. But the longer term thesis needs like consistent user base on ordinals, which it is going up day over day right now.
This on-chain monkey thing is a complete scam. Look, Raw Paul,
That's not who this is.
No, that's who. So on-chain monkey got popular because Raw Paul had them on a space. They were talking about how this is like the first on-chain PFP, which is bullshit. Like that's just like a straight up lie. And then they were talking about some other. It was like. It was marketed in this wave of 2021, I would say, when things were pumping, and they were just riding this wave. They faded from relevance, is what happened, and then suddenly Bitcoin comes around, and everyone's like, "Oh, I'm the first," basically. But it just feels like I don't know. It just doesn't give me the same vibe. Look, they're not a rug pull. The founder is respected. I don't know enough about the guy, to be honest. I just enjoy talking shit. But the bottom line is, look, I would sell the hell out of this thing because I just don't understand. Buying an ordinal PFP, if you're going to get like some original, like, and you
Like
don't know.
Cryptoadz, first sequential collection.
All right. I mean, maybe. It's CC0, right? Like I feel like maybe
I did my research. CC0 first sequential collection.
Sub 5K.
Frank D Gods did it a mile and a half later.
Dude, I just think I don't know. This whole thing is on-chain monkeys.
CK Snark, he called me a bozo, and so I bought 2 Bitcoin toads just for bozo protection.
They look so whack. The on-chain monkeys. Someone, oh, not this one. Someone said that I'm so wrong about this. Good. Prove me wrong. Buy one for 5 ETH. Let me know what happens.
No, I'm a holder of On-Chain Monkey.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. I hold for, right? Don't fuck my bet. Yeah. I bought it almost like a year ago. Yeah. Because Danny, the CEO of On-Chain Monkey is our advisor of Memeland. Right. So
what?
Yeah. I mean, I talked to Danny a lot. He's
okay. Turns out
he's one of the crypto OG who actually did an NFT. Right?
Well, Ray, here's the thing.
Nick's like, I'm buying one right now.
If Nick fudge your NFT, it's
skyrockets.
If he buys it,
you got to understand more about the team. That's the thing about NFT, right? I mean, if you look at the On-Chain Monkey artwork, it's so hard to navigate, right? Because it's like the artwork itself, and then when the trace is just numbers, right? It's not very user friendly, right? The moment that I bought it, I was like, it's so hard to navigate, right? That's why. That's like I think when they launch, I think they had a document to explain, okay, what number represent what trade and stuff like that. Right?
They even linked the ether scans to show you what it was to the number. They have
exactly.
like a full portal.
So it's like it's a very technical project, right? I mean, and Danny is probably the most technical NFT founder out there. Right? He actually holds the talk when Vitalik was sharing at Stanford, right, before he launched Ethereum. Yeah, he actually is very OG and he knows his shit. I mean, the bad thing about On-Chain Monkey is I think the artwork is so on-chain that you don't, it's so hard to compete with other NFT projects.
Yeah.
But they have a pretty strong community. I think they did it as a free main and they have a pretty good DAO and then they keep launching new
really
stuff.
Strong community.
Well,
Nick's going to get absolutely torched. For
sounds like I'm totally wrong about this one, which is why this is garbage. This project is awful. Send it to zero. No, I'm just kidding. Ray just gave us some insight.
Right,
we need Ray to come back on periodically to give us this sort of inside baseball thing because it's pretty clear that we're not inside. We're just loud voices. So appreciate that. And it sounds like this team is the real deal. Hey, my opinion, I'm still not buying it. I just won't send it to zero. I think Ray has a accurate assessment here, and he seems way more knowledgeable on this subject matter than I am. I give hot takes based on just looking at a picture.
Guns, Nick, dude. Stick to your guns, dude.
Also, as well,
hey, pressure.
I just said I'm not buying it, okay? And I think the price goes down, okay? That's where I'm saying. I would short the hell out of this. It goes down a little bit, and then I'll buy back in. at 0.3 ETH, Ray. Sorry.
It won't
Yeah,
go
but
down
also
low.
as well, like the timeline. Wait, when this segment started, my understanding is the rules are it's a 90-day timeline, right?
Yeah.
So the like I'm on the same page as Easy. It's a sell only because in the next 90 days there may not be a big catalyst event. They had the ordinal move. Before that, I would have to look back at the numbers, but it didn't seem to be strong pumps in order for it to go up.
1.44 trading from 0.7 to 1.4 range for like 3.5 months. So
yeah, the next 90 days, I think it's a sell. But if we weren't talking about 90 days, it's like from what Ray is saying, it actually makes me much more bullish.
Sell the shit out of it. That's what Signal just said. Just absolutely dump this thing.
I think one of the comments also said that Danny founded one of the largest crypto exchange in Taiwan, right? I mean, it's almost like CC started an NFT project, right? Kind of like that. Yeah. So I think I don't know the price because I don't really look at the price after I bought, right? I don't want to feel sad every day, right? That's why I didn't do that. Yeah. But I believe that Onchain Monkey is one of the most interesting and technical team out there. Yeah. So that's why I just keep holding. Yeah.
Well, I love to hear it, Ray. I should also note that people are not processing that multiple humans are speaking out of my mic. So I'm currently being attacked by holders of Onchain Monkey because they think that I'm Nick and Easy. Perhaps Signal. Someone did specifically think I was Ray as well. So apparently I'm a lot of people today, which is okay.
Theo, just can't believe you'd say something like that. And dude, that just unacceptable. Let's go to the last one.
The last one, ladies and gentlemen, the last project to be discussed on today's edition of Buy, Sell, or Send It to Zero with our very own Easy Eats Bodega is the first edition of Gitcoin Presents at 0.55 ETH. It's already been brought up on the show.
Zero.
Dump it.
Send it to zero. It's an ebook. What is the value at? Vitalik's never tweeting about this. It's going to zero. I'm dead set in it. It was why I'm still like totally comfortable papering the shit out of this. The only way that this gets and continues legs here is purely if somehow the narrative is influencers pumping the shit out of it. That's
or
it.
if it just blur surfs. You know what I mean? You know how like things just blur surf.
Bro, Machi owns 600 of them, and last night there was more bids from over floor. There was more bids. There's 13,000 bids at 0.52. The supply is 9,000.
I just want to. This is a piece of information unrelated to this, and I want to give. I want everyone to give their thoughts on this project. I got clarification on the Captainz association with Other Side and Other Deed. It turns out it's Team Captainz. There's apparently going to be Team Captainz associated with it. You should trademark that word, Ray, Captainz, and then tell them they can't be using that in the NFT sense. But okay, for this project, the Gitcoin thing, yeah, I'm with Easy on this. Send it to zero. This just seems so ridiculous. Anytime Vitalik somehow gets associated with some project, we see a temporary pump, but like, it's absurd how high this one pumped. It just feels absolutely ludicrous that you can send this to almost 1 ETH off of just pure speculation. I mean, it's nice to see. It's nice that the NFT market still has some life in it. You know who the biggest holder of this project is?
Machi,
in a very major way. He owns like 700 of these or something.
Last time we had 847, all taken from bids. Blur farming's finest, so it takes a singular button. There's more bids at 0.52 than the entire supply of the collection. The whole thing.
I mean, that is
right now.
wild.
He has over 1,481. I just checked. Yeah, so it's not 700. Yeah, it's almost like 1,500. Yeah.
He's really banking on this coin being worth something. I don't know, like that. Why is he doing
120 ETH from where his bids got accepted.
No, he's now up 86 ETH.
Is he?
Yeah, because he just kept like getting dumped at bids on the way down. Yeah.
Well, he's got FU money. I think Giancarlo, our friend Giancarlo, very popular YouTuber, had a great tweet about this. He said, Vitalik seems like the kind of guy to flood the market with new co-signed collections every year if it means he can raise money for a variety of charities. I'm guessing what will this do to floor prices isn't high on the list of things he cares about. I think that's a perfect tweet right there. Vitalik's like, I'm raising money for charity. I don't care if you buy this. Bingo, bango, boom. But anyway, that's a send it to zero from Easy and other members of the panel. Nick, Clemente, do we have anything else that we have to cover? Clemente, anything else today? You're muted, buddy.
We're good to go here. Hell of a show.
Hell of a show. Ray, thank you so much for coming, man. What a jam this was.
Yeah, Ray, honestly, you're a Web3 goat, man. Didn't realize it till the show, but love your vibes.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and thanks for shitting on me on Twitter as well. Yeah.
Dude,
I said I was the buyer at Captainz sub 3. Who called it perfectly? This guy.
You know who we need to have come on next is not Ray. We barely shit on you. That was that was like the nicest. I feel like the nicest comment we've ever done. We've gone hard.
Yes, that's why I came because easy. I talk about buy right for Captainz. That's why I came. Otherwise, I don't came. Yeah.
Well, Pio's gonna stop calling me the funniest guy and instead call me the most hated guy in NFTs. That's where I'm headed. I'm not doing us any political favors, but Ray, thank you for joining and really enjoyed the conversation.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, shout out to Ray, the founder of Memeland and Captainz NFT Collection Potatoes. All of those. Definitely check out those collections. Follow Ray at 9GagCEO on Twitter. One more shout out to our sponsor, SoRare. SoRare has been around since 2018. It's an on-chain fantasy sports games on layer 2 Ethereum. So if you like the NBA, if you like the MLB, which is American baseball, if you like international football, specifically the English Premier League, well, they just signed a 4-year deal with them. And look, they got funding. They actually had their last round of funding was the biggest ever in European history, the biggest ever Series B at $680 million in funding. So they're well capitalized. I talked about the volume. I talked about some of the big sales this year, $50K for a John Morant card, $40K for an Anthony Edwards card, and $180K for a Giannis Antetokounmpo card. If you want to play against me in fantasy basketball or play other fantasy sports with NFTs that are free to play, right? You get them for free and you can win more for free and then choose whether you want to sell those or roll them back in. Sign up for SoRare at thenifty.com/SoRare at TheNifty.com/SoRare. That's our show, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks again to Ray, the 9GAG CEO, for coming by.